Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at Multiple Man from the Marvel Legends X-Men Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave. Here we have Multiple Man in the front window box displayed with its additional accessories and the Build-A-Figure piece. We get the X logo at the top. On the side we get some very cool artwork here of Multiple Man. It's the same on both sides. And on the back we get a product shot as well as all the other figures needed in this wave to complete the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure. And at the top we do get the read-up. Not to be duped by duplication, Jamie Madrox uses the ability to clone himself to assign liaisons to travel the world and acquire new skill sets. And on the bottom we have the UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at Multiple Man. And here is Multiple Man outside of his packaging. And yeah, pretty cool figure right out of the box. It's really one of those that you almost have to army build, but I would say at least three. Maybe you could have one of each head sculpt. But yeah, cool figure. They're definitely getting their use out of the coat there, the long jacket that we've seen with Red Skull, Nick Fury, Spider Noir most recently as well. So they're definitely getting their use. I know that's an old coat sculpt, but yeah, pretty cool figure. It is just a Bucky cap mold underneath there, so articulation is pretty standard. And aside from the heads, he does not come with any other accessories but the Build-A-Figure piece, which is the leg for Apocalypse. So instead of taking a look at the heads under accessories, we're just going to take a look at them as we do our better look on the overall head sculpt. So let's go ahead and do that right now. We'll get a better look at Multiple Man, and then we'll go into comparisons and articulation. So we'll start first with this scowling head sculpt, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that we get the angry versions for some of those action poses. And the biggest thing with the head sculpt that I notice is the X logo at the top there. The yellow doesn't really fill in on the entire square, which is a little bit of a bummer. But the head sculpt itself looks pretty solid, and the ears sticking out the back there, and then of course it's just a hood otherwise. So not a whole lot going on there. Let's go ahead and pop on one of the other heads real quick and we'll take a look at that. And here's the more relaxed version of the hooded head sculpt. And we can see we have the same problem there with the X logo not being fully filled in. And as a matter of fact, I get a little smudge of yellow there on the top, and you can even see some marbling going on. But again, just sort of a casual look, and I think it came out okay. Eyes actually look good, and the rest of the head sculpt looks the same though. So not bad. I think it looks good. Let's check out the Unmasked Head now. And here we have the Unmasked Head, and the only thing I'm noticing, and I'll have to maybe check some other reviewers, I don't have painted eyebrows on mine. That's interesting. I'm sure he was meant to have painted eyebrows since he has eyebrows on the rest of them, but it kind of throws the figure off. I might have to go in and see about applying some paint myself, but the sculpt again came out okay. The eyes look decent. I can't tell, but his left eye looks like it might be looking in a different direction. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, it's a good looking sculpt, to be fair. Basic hair look, so I like that. So yeah, not too bad. But yeah, it does look kind of weird without any eyebrows. Going down though, taking a look at the rest of the figure. So checking out underneath his jacket here, little bit of fuzziness around some of the lines, but for the most part, not too bad. He does have the just the jacketed or the sleeved arms, so there's nothing new there. We've seen that before as well. And his fisted hands came out just fine, regular old Bucky cap fisted hands. And there's really no other paint going on down below because he's just all blue. So really the only paint you have is right there on his ribs, which I can see could have been better. And then there. And I don't doubt much goes on in the back. Yeah, not much point. The jacket doesn't really do much. And the jacket is, like I said, we've seen this jacket tons of times. It is that flexible material, but it looks like he might be glued in. You might be able to pull that out, but I'm not going to test it because he's not going to look good without it because he's got these sleeved arms anyway, so he pretty much needs that jacket. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at scale and articulation. So checking out the scale, we can see that he comes in at about 6¼ inches tall. So he is on par with most of the rest of the Marvel Legends. All the heads have the same type of articulation, which is to say you got side to side, very deep looking down. It can look up further than what the coat allows, but he does hit the collar there, so he doesn't get a whole lot of up there, and he gets a little bit of wobble, not a ton. The arms can go up to pretty standard T-pose. He, of course, does have full rotation. He does have a bicep swivel. He only has single-jointed elbows, but they can actually go pretty far, and there's actually a rotation at the elbow as well. And then he has a hinge and rotation on each fist. He does have an ab crunch, which can go down pretty far, but that jacket is going to stick out. It can go back. Again, the coat is limiting how far it can go back. So, yeah, you do have a waist rotation. His legs outside of the jacket can go pretty far apart, but of course, inside the jacket, they're going to be prevented there from spreading out too far. He does have a upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, and he does have and a boot cut there, and he does have ankle hinge and ankle pivot. And for a quick comparison here, we have Multiple Man standing next to Rogue and Havoc. And if you notice, he's actually slightly taller than Havoc, which is interesting that they both use the Bucky Cat body mold, but you can see that at least this Unmasked Head sits a little bit higher on the neck, so it actually gives him just a small height advantage. And here we have him displayed with all of the other figures from this wave, minus the Build-A-Figure. You got Gladiator, Wolverine, Psylocke, Sabretooth, Storm, and Magneto. And we have the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure review coming up on the next video. And that about does it for this review, everyone. And overall, definitely a very cool figure. And just the nature of this character really makes me think that he is going to be something of an army build figure, that there's going to be people that are going to get at least one more. I know I've considered it. Certainly not right now. If I see him going on clearance or anything, maybe. But I feel like he's actually going to sell decently just because, again, the nature of the character. But overall, cool figure. Definitely neat to get yet another classic character, especially looking at some of the X-Factor uniforms and stuff like that. So excited to get into some of the other X teams. We've seen some X-Force figures, New Mutants, and some of the X-Factor in various costumes. So it'll definitely be cool to just build that whole mutant lineup there, even some Alpha Flight. But anyway, yeah, cool to get. And like I said, I can see this becoming an army builder, but the figure himself is nothing unique. It's all parts that we've seen before. The jacket is old, the arms are old, the Bucky Cat mold is classic. So it's nothing crazy, but definitely good to round out those mutant collections. But anyway, as I said, that is it for the review, guys. If you like this review, make sure to hit that like button. If you have any comments, leave them down below. Let me know if you're planning on getting multiple Man. I'm curious to see if there are going to be any army builders out there. But if you want more content like this, especially the upcoming Apocalypse review, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content and hit the bell notification just so you get the alerts when I post that. But aside from that, thanks for watching the video, everyone, and have a great day. Check.